Renu Rana Ra.
On this occasion we will discuss the history of Lucius Septimius Severus. Lucius Septimius Severus was the 13th emperor of the Roman Empire and, uniquely enough, was its first African ruler. More specifically, he was born in the Romanized city of Leptis Magna, in modern-day Libya, in AD 145 to a family with a long history in local, as well as Roman politics and administration. Thus, his Africanity does not make him as unique as many modern observers retrospectively assume. However, his methods for seizing power, and his agenda to create a military monarchy, with self-focused absolute power, were new in many ways. Moreover, he took a universal approach to the empire, investing more heavily in his periphery provinces and borders at the expense of Rome and Italy, and their local aristocracies. Additionally, he is seen as the greatest expander of the Roman Empire since the time of the Emperor Trajan. Wars and travels across the empire he joined, to distant provinces, took him away from Rome for most of his reign and finally gave his final resting place in England, where he died in February 211 AD. At this point, the Roman Empire had changed forever and many of the aspects often blamed for its downfall were established. However, Septimius had managed to regain stability within the country, after the ignominious end of Commodus, and the civil war that followed his death. Subsequently, he founded the Severan dynasty, which while unimpressive by previous standards, ruled for 42 years. The city where Septimius Severus was born, Leptis Magna, is one of the three most prominent cities in the region known as Tripolitania, along with Aea and Sabratha. To understand Septimius Severus and his African origins, it is first important to explore the place of his birth and childhood. Originally, Leptis Magna had been founded by the Carthaginians, who came from around modern Lebanon and were originally called Phoenicians. These Phoenicians had founded the Carthaginian Empire, which was one of the Roman Republic's most notorious enemies, clashing with them in a series of three historical conflicts called the Punic Wars. After the final destruction of Carthage in 146 BC, almost all of Punic Africa came under Roman control, including the settlement of Leptis Magna, when Roman soldiers and settlers began to colonize it. Gradually, the settlement began to develop into an important outpost of the Roman Empire, becoming a more official part of its reign under Tiberius, as it was incorporated into the Roman province of Africa. However, he still retained much of his original Punic culture and traits, creating a synchronicity between Romance and Phoenician religion, tradition, politics, and language. In this melting pot, many still cling to their pre-Roman roots, but progress are inextricably linked with Rome. Flourishing from its inception as a prodigious purveyor of olive oil, the city grew exponentially under Roman rule, as under Nero it became a municipality and received an amphitheater. Later under Trajan it was upgraded to a colonial status. Today, Septimius' grandfather, who shares the same name as the future emperor, is one of the leading Roman citizens of the region. He had been educated by the leading literary figure of his day, Quintilian, and had made his immediate family the leading regional players of the equestrian ranks, while many of his relatives had attained higher senatorial positions. While these paternal relatives appear to have been Phoenician and native to the region, Septimius' maternal side is believed to have been from Tusculum, which was very close to Rome. After some time they then moved to North Africa and joined their home together. The gens Fulvii on the mother's side were a very well-established family with centuries of aristocratic ancestry. Therefore, while the origins and ancestry of the Emperor Septimius Severus undoubtedly differed from those of his predecessors, many of whom were born in Italy or Spain, he was still very much born into the culture and framework of aristocratic Romanesque, even if it was a provincial one. So his Africanness was unique to a degree, but it wouldn't have been very favorable to see an African individual in a position of influence in the Roman Empire. Indeed, as discussed, many of his father's relatives had held various equestrian and senatorial posts by the time young Septimius was born. Nor is it certain that Septimius Severus was technically black in terms of ethnicity. Nonetheless, Septimius' African origins certainly contributed to the new aspects of his reign and the way he chose to manage the empire. Thank you for following our videos. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe so you can always follow video updates from us.